All right, so I just hit live and
Hmm.
gonna hit public. And here, I'll send you the link. All right, so YouTube just got it. So welcome to
All
the
right,
VYTALCast, everyone. What?
I'll just open it on your YouTube channel. That's the easiest way for me to get to it.
All right. I mean, I just sent the link anyways, but
Oh, thank you.
you're welcome.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, hello. Okay, so you saw the World of Remnant. You said
I just saw it and I was right. I was right. I was right.
you're right on a lot of things. I
It makes me happy.
yeah. I mean, okay. I hold on. I'm trying to type. Yeah, you predicted it'd be about Jock or the Schnees.
Well, less of that. I just predicted how Jacques became a member of the family.
Oh yeah, with him marrying in.
Yeah, as soon as it was like Nicholas Schnee, and it was like, and then Jacques came along, and when I was like, oh, okay, I know where this is going. It's going to a place where I'm right.
Yeah, it's interesting to see that like the Schnee Dust Company
Hmm.
had like a good name once
Hmm.
upon a time, and now it's Jock who's basically made it bad. Like made like the Faunus labor laws or like start
Yeah.
treating the Faunus like slaves and all that.
I
So
mean, it makes more sense as far as part of Weiss's motivations as well,
hmm
because she's going to school to be a huntress, just like her grandfather, so
yeah,
she can restore the Schnee name from its original origins.
yeah, because her grandpa went out into the mines with his workers and like
Mhm.
fight off the Grim. Eh,
I'm wondering what those, go ahead.
No, no, you go.
I'm wondering what the physical effects are that it talked about, because it said that being that deep in a dust mine has some pretty severe physical effects. I'm just kind of wondering what those would be, because like
I
would it be like the equivalent of like black lung except with dust, so like you cough fire?
well, I think it like kind of burn on the inside if you're like inhaling like
Hmm.
fire stuff. Hey, standing by life and nerds of Oz. Hello.
Hey, Larissa.
um, Larissa, we want you on in January sometime. I'll hit you up about that. Um, but yeah, I think like the side effects would be kind of like the elements affecting their bodies. So
Yeah,
like fire, as you mentioned, and ice.
it'd be interesting to see like if it was more than just like a cough or sneezing and having fire come out.
Yeah, that'd be quite interesting. I think Crow would have mentioned it if it was specifically that. Uh,
Unless it was a plot point later on.
maybe, maybe. Did it ever say her grandfather died?
Yes.
Okay, he did die. Okay,
Well, I mean, I think at this point it was kind of considering he was shown like crawling on the floor,
true, true.
it's pretty safe to assume.
He's dead. Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
maybe he just like retired because he was too old and bedridden or something.
Even if he was too old or bedridden, he would probably not stand for the way that Jacques was running the company.
True. Do you think Jock might have finished him off?
Jacques too much of a bloody coward. He may have paid someone else to do it, but I doubt it.
Well, that's kind of what I meant. Like he did
Yeah.
something that led to his end.
It is possible, but I feel like at that point he already had what he wanted. Why risk getting caught, you know?
Mm-hmm. And I kind of wonder, like, did he marry into the family with the intentions of the CEO position of Schnee Dust Company, or did he actually fall for Weiss's mom, and then that came as a result?
He definitely just married into the family just for that reason.
I have that feeling. I mean, it explains the alcoholism and like the
Hmm.
terrible family just falling apart. It's
It, it also kind of explains how it was delivered too, because it was like first he came along and it showed that he got along more or less with Nicholas Schnee.
mm,
And then because they were so close and he saw that Nicholas probably trusted him, it was like, oh, I'm going to coincidentally fall in love with your daughter and marry into your family, so I, your good friend Jacques, can take over your company.
yeah, slimy little bugger. I don't like him. I mean, he's such a jerk. And then like seeing that World of Remnant is just like, it's like even more.
I have some more choice words than Crow does.
Yeah, yeah. Crow's like, I forgot kids watch this show.
What he didn't say SOB, he said something in between.
uh,
Like I want to say Sonb.
I don't know. I'd have to rewatch it. I haven't watched it for like a few days.
I watched it right before I called you.
Yeah. Trenton Dixon says straight up Avatar: The Last Airbender with a Fire Lord.
Honestly,
Yeah,
would that make Whitley Azula?
I would say so. I would say so. Although then it's like, what would Winter be? Because there was no third
She's Uncle
sibling
Iroh.
to Zuko. Unless it's like in The Legend of Korra, it's like, hello Zuko, I'm just a surprise sibling. It's like, what?
Okay,
Oh, he
okay, so
said
he said
SNOB.
Snob.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
I was hoping it was gonna be something like Son of a Nevermore, because instead of being like if it's like let's like address the
The
like
word.
the mammoth in the room. It was whatever the name
Oh
was for like
yeah, yeah,
giant grim elephants. Because it'd be funny if they had like the equivalent
yeah, yeah. It was I have the word in my head. It's just not coming out.
acronym
it,
spelling.
it was not an acronym. It was
I'm just trying to help.
starts with a G. It was I forget. It's a name of like some sort of Greek.
Goliath.
Goliath. Thank you. I was
I
like,
thought you were referring to like the grammatical term for spelling out a word instead of saying it.
no, 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 no. I was like, I know it had something that was like very familiar. And it would start with the G. Makes sense. Yeah, the Goliath in the room. Thank you,
Mhm.
FFH92. And hi, nameless. Yeah, sorry guys. We
Oh,
take
and
a
it's
while to
FFKH, yeah.
FFKHF. Okay,
Like
sorry, I
Final
forgot the
Fantasy Kingdom
K.
Hearts.
Final. Okay, that makes sense. You nerd. Just kidding. Nah, both of those games I haven't actually played into yet, but I guess now that I got a PlayStation, I can.
You gotta tell me when you play Kingdom Hearts, okay?
Okay, I'll need to get my hands on a copy.
Because I will cry.
All right.
There's actual video footage of me screaming when I beat it.
Oh, really?
hmm
Is it on
It
your
was just
channel?
no. I
Okay.
have it saved. I could just put it up, but I'm lazy.
Okay.
That requires editing.
Uh, all right. Back to
Ruby.
Ruby. So I like how Crow kind of like leaves it open ended to like there's still hope for Schnee Dust Company and showed
Mhm.
Weiss, and that's something I thought I kind of touched on at least in a conversation with you if it wasn't in VYTALCast probably earlier when I was talking about
Got
like
all emotional
I'm
moments.
thinking differently about Weiss, uh, because like sometime this week I just like was thinking and like Weiss came into my head and like chapter 6, and I was just like, man, Weiss, she's had a lot of good character development. Like
hmm
I think she has the most obvious character development. Like if you look at volume 1 to volume 4, she's more different. Whereas if you look at someone like Blake, it's a little harder to tell, or
hmm
even Ruby. Um, Yang,
Like Weiss had a
Yang's a
more
little better.
progressive character development. Like she more or less improved on her faults, whereas Blake was kind of like, "Oh God, I messed up. I'm gonna go back into like." She got better and being more people, and then Volume 3 happened, and it was like lost all that progress.
Yeah, yeah, which happens to people,
hmm
and I am just getting like Ruby Mino messages, like none other. Um, hey, sorry to bother you. Anyway, I'm gonna try to continue my thought. It
Oh,
was,
hey Dan.
hey, Kaito Dan. Okay, hey, sorry to bother you, but I'm just getting back to watching your stuff because of a lack of time before, and I have a couple of questions about VitalCast. One, will there be this week? And two, have they moved to Saturdays? No, it's right now.
We moved it to Fridays at 6 o'clock so that we don't have to
Yeah,
overlap with
we've
fan service.
we've never done it on a Saturday, have we?
We recorded once on a Sunday.
Oh yeah, we did it once on Sunday, and that
That's the one time because I was on a plane.
yeah, hey King of Lamb, yeah, yeah, that week was because of very special circumstances. I mean, we're gonna try to stick to Fridays, and the reason why we stick to Friday is because on Saturday that's first day, and we're obviously going to talk about the newest
Yeah.
content, and not everyone would have seen it by then.
hmm
And for some reason, we still get viewers coming to us on Fridays being like, "We haven't seen the new chapter yet," and it's like, "What have you been doing?" Um, and okay, it's like, "Oh shoot, haha, sorry for bothering you. It's okay if you get on here and see me saying it's okay." Um, But yeah, it's 6 o'clock because that'll be like a half hour after fan service ended, and we
Yes.
figured, people who like Ruby like anime, and it's like, well, they're probably gonna want to watch fan service, and they're probably gonna choose more of a professional production over a fan made production. So
People who watch Ruby don't like anime.
yeah, yeah.
I bet they try to watch anime on a sushi.
On sushi, what sushi is that?
Crunchyroll?
What's it? Oh, Crunchyroll. Okay, I was like, I know there was Crunchyroll, but I'm turning in my nerd card today. Um, okay, Aaron's the new host. I'm walking away now. See ya. Just kidding. uh, just slowly scoot away out of camera.
We know how well that went when you had to run away for a minute, and I was like, this is my bookshelf. I like things.
Oh my gosh, I didn't go back and watch the episode to like see what you did afterwards.
I straight up just did that.
I'll go find that. That was VYTALCast number 9, I think. Anyway, what I was saying with Weiss is she like so I had a conversation with my mom earlier this week about like givers and takers. Like there's two types of people and like how they work together, I guess. Like if you put a giver and a taker together, then the giver is eventually gonna like burn out because they don't ever receive in return from a taker. So you usually want a giver and a giver. And I always kind of thought of Weiss as a taker, but she's more of a giver now. But then I thought, well, what if she was always a giver, and because of how she's been raised, she's just more expected to receive in return because like she's always forced to do service for her dad, like performing, and she has all this like expectations of taking over the company and all this, and so she's like literally given herself till she's like feeling lost and lonely, and she's just kind of used to like receiving like allowance or like special privileges for living in a rich home and all that. So then once she went to Beacon, it was kind of like she just had her hand out like ready to just get like the team leadership position and all that. But then once she starts to open up to like the team and all that, she starts to show more of her like giving personality. Like she started helping Ruby out, like giving her coffee and like, hey, you got something wrong with your homework there. And then later on with other stuff, she's been more open to helping out the team and being more of a giver type personality.
She's
And
giving. Oh, go ahead.
oh no, you say.
She's giving gifts and help instead of giving away herself,
Yes,
which is notably more
healthy.
healthy.
Yes, yeah. So she's definitely grown to be more of like a healthy type giver, is kind of what I was saying. So
Yes.
so like I had my mind just kind of blown while I was just like working. I'm like, holy crap! I've been saying Weiss wrong the entire time. I must tweet about this, and then like you're like, yeah, she's totally diverse. And then you and I started talking about her for a while, and
Straight up talked about Weiss for like 3 hours.
yeah, it's like holy crap! It's like I have so much more respect for Weiss. Like I mean, I always respected Weiss, but now it's like more refound. Is refound a word? I don't think so.
Refined is a word.
Refined. Thank you.
I mean, I guess if you think about it, refound would be like finding something again.
Yeah.
Because it would, but it's no.
I mean, I guess technically that could have fit this situation because it's like, oh, I found respect for her again, but this time it's a different type of respect. I don't know.
Well, if it's different, then you're not finding it again.
Yeah, whatever. We're done with this analogy.
Grammar.
Grammar. Okay, Nicholas Schnee says. I mean, Nicholas Whistle says. Gosh dang it. He says, David, do you think Weiss will take over the Schnee Dust Company? That was something we talked about in our 3-hour conversation, but we'll bring it up again because we're pretty much going to have the same conversation again for this VYTALCast, just condensed in 1 hour. We're not going to talk till 1:30 in the morning again.
It was 2, wasn't it?
What?
It was 2, wasn't it? Or was that the Miraculous Ladybug one?
Miraculous Ladybug, we talked till 1:30, and I think the other nights were like 1 o'clock.
Okay,
But-
I don't remember.
But you were just like on the verge of passing out, and like each time I felt bad. Like I was like, okay, we're not going to talk super late, and it's like I'm gonna tell her good night before she's totally exhausted, and it's just like it's 1:30. I'm like, so, and then in my head I'm like, oh crap. But
80% of the time, that's more of a I'm not tired, but I probably need to go to bed.
yeah. So to go back to the question about the Schnee Dust Company, I think she was totally in line to take over it, but
Hmm.
now because of Chapter 6, it's really up in the air. Like, she's gonna have to work like none other to get it back.
I think it went from Winter to Weiss and now on to Whitley.
Yeah, yeah. So safe bet is saying Whitley might get it, but I think there are going to be some events, and it'll have to do with Weiss standing up for herself to her possibly inheriting the company again. Whether she might take it, I I want to say like take it like forcefully, like because they don't want to give it to her, but that I don't want to sound like there's a mutiny going on. you know?
I feel like it would kind of be a combination. Like it could be a you have destroyed this family name. My name is Weiss
Yeah,
Schnee. You destroyed my family name. Prepare to die.
yeah. I feel like we're gonna see some like very Game of Thrones type of plot going on for this. I don't
I
know
I
how.
just want her to stick up for herself to her dad.
Yeah, yeah, like totally. We all want Jock Snee to like have. Crap, I keep getting distracted. Okay, phone, you're banished. Okay, um, people keep tweeting about VYTALCast, which is amazing, guys. Thank you so much. Um, what were you saying? Oh, like her sticking up to her father. Yeah, I mean,
Hmm.
we already saw a bit of that in Chapter 6, and that's kind of why it's probably going to Whitley now instead of that, because I think Jock wants more of a puppet than someone who's thinking individually and differently than him to take
Yeah,
over the company.
and that's kind of what happened with Winter. Winter was like, no, I'm like Winter was probably like, I'm gonna try to take back the family name possibly. So she would look into being the Huntress, but she could only go to Atlas, and then she was kind of directed into the military.
Yeah, so I guess in a way, the Schnee Dust Company helped a lot with Atlas's defense. So
Hmm.
she probably thought might as well take it even further into the protection of Atlas
Yeah.
and try to save the family name in that sense. Whereas Jock Schnee, I mean, I guess he still technically has a good public image, depending
He
on
has the
who you
world's best
are.
PR team.
Yeah, he has a pretty good PR team. I mean, the Faunus aren't fooled, but uh, yeah, it's just gonna be interesting to see how things go, and I wonder how much Whitley is gonna start coming into the story because so far he's
Hmm.
just kind of been on the side, and I just I just noticed their mom wasn't at the party.
Hmm.
Why is that?
Well, neither was Winter.
Well, yeah, but Winter is part of the military, as we said. She's probably off
Yeah.
doing something. I mean, Ironwood was there, but Winter was probably
Hmm.
covering for him.
I have the feeling that Weiss's mother was pretty much like a
Mentally
disposable
spent.
plate to Jacques.
Yeah,
Kind of a, oh, I'll use you to get this wonderful meal, and as soon as I have it, goodbye.
yeah.
And she's probably
Off
a little
drinking.
tipsy at the
Yeah,
time of the party, and that doesn't bode well for a
public
happy
image.
family image.
Yeah, I mean, I just wonder like what Jock says when people ask him about the wife. Like, hey, where's Mrs. Schnee? He's probably like, oh, she's sick again. Bummer.
Probably is like, oh, she's away on business helping in like an underprivileged menagerie household.
Oh, gosh. I
Because that
think
seems like,
yeah, I think his like he's like, no, we're too good for menagerie. He'd probably say the lower class in Atlas or something.
mm,
So, because he obviously complained about like foreign relations earlier this volume. So,
yeah, I hate him. He could get a Game of Thrones style death and it would not be good enough.
yeah. Ina Nias. I don't know if I pronounced that Insa. Well, Insa said she wasn't in Weiss's song, which I don't think Weiss has anything against her mother. She
Mm-mm.
hasn't said hardly anything about her mom.
I feel like for Weiss, much like Yang and Ruby, her mother was kind of an absent figure
Mm-hmm.
because, or kind of just kind of more like a shadow of a figure.
Yeah,
Because when she talks to Whitley and Whitley's like, "Oh yeah, there's yelling in Dad's study," her first assumption is her mother. So she's definitely heard them fighting.
yeah.
So odds are she's mostly just seen her mother in like fighting maybe when she was younger before her mother became aggressively an alcoholic.
Mm-hmm.
So just kind of she may have this image of who she was, but ultimately was kind of like my mother won't be there for me. I have to be there for myself. She's not the one like If she is harming me, it's only by neglect.
Yeah, and so Stoic Drug said, "Does anyone think Jack has Mama Schnee locked away?" Technically, yes. Technically, no. She's more locked away in her poor emotional and mental health, probably with the alcoholism and
Mm.
all that.
I didn't see who it was in the chat, but someone suggested that Jacques may have even kind of kick-started her problem.
Oh no, I'm
Yeah,
full behind that. Like, I think he
but
probably
like
caused it.
introduced her to drinking more and more,
Yeah,
possibly.
either that or he was definitely the reason why she turned to the drinking.
Yeah, definitely.
So, speaking of which, what's the drinking age in Remnant?
That's a good question.
Because I don't know if I dreamt it or something. I remember I might have had like a dream where they talked about drinking age, like Team Ranger or something was like, "Hey, let's go get drinks," and then it's like, "Oh yeah, Ruby's too young" or something like that, and I'm just like, now would they be more like Europe, where so like Europe and America are a little different. So Europe mostly across the board is like 16 is the drinking age, but ever since the kids grow up, the parents kind of teach them how to drink responsibly and like to respect alcohol for the most part. Whereas
Hmm.
in America, alcohol is more like a feared thing, like, oh no, don't go drinking and driving, don't do da 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 da.
It is considered a drug.
Yeah, it's considered a drug, so it's more like a people are warned about it more than they are to how to treat it right. And
Mm.
and then like people are like 21's too long of a wait, so then they go and then they drink it irresponsibly, wake up with like a huge hangover and all that. Um,
Yeah.
so I think, do you think Remnant would be more like Europe or America?
If anything, I feel like it would kind of be like Puerto Rico, where the drinking age is 18, just kind of in between.
Yeah, that makes
I feel
sense.
like I doubt it's considered like a drug, but it's kind of more of a, if your family teaches you how to drink responsibly, fantastic.
Hmm.
If they don't, good luck.
Yeah, it's like if they didn't get killed by Grim, good luck. Uh, part of me also thought of like a kind of like a chapter 7 joke since it's not
Mhm.
out yet, and how I mentioned like Crow, like a parent like trying to talk Team Ranger into like kind of like how to be more like a team or how to emotionally like get better about
Mhm.
like the loss of Pyrrha and all that. And I was thinking, I'm like, more realistically, he would probably be like, give them all a flask, and he's like, here's how I get over my problems. Here you go. See ya. I'm out. And like, and then Team Ranger just gets drunk. Um,
Um, a
Hunt.
new, huh?
Mm-hmm. No, no,
There's someone in the chat brought up that Yang was at a bar in the yellow trailer and she ordered a strawberry sunrise. So odds are the drinking age is probably actually 17,
yeah, 17. Yeah.
because that
Um,
is definitely a cocktail.
yeah. Hunt SD asked, "Isn't Germany's drinking age at 16?" I believe so. I think French, Italy. I mean, France, Italy, and Germany
Ah,
are all 16, and then I think England might be 17 or 18. Um, I can't remember. I talked to Alan about this, and Alan was like, "Oh yeah, da 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 da," and he may or may not have offered me some stuff before, but I did not partake. Because I was like, "Mom will kill me, too. I'm not interested." Uh,
my family is Puerto Rican. They're like, "You want a whole bottle of coquito?" And I'm like,
nope.
"I'm 12. I'm 12 years old.
Oh
That's
no.
rum."
Oh no. Yeah. Okay, Shy Bridge said, "Don't bring what up?"
Oh, it was the beer stain on Crow's Team Stark pick,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
which was interestingly a bottle
Mm-hmm.
or a glass stain over Summer specifically, and then tear stains over him and Raven. Let
Yeah.
that marinate.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about it before. Oh,
Yeah.
crap! I closed Google Chrome. Um, because this is like perfect segue to something I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
Uh, please tell me I reblogged it. No, no, no. Did I favorite it? Let me just check my favorites. Since I was using the Portal 64 blog, which is virtually untouched.
Yeah,
Darn you, David! You
I
didn't even
followed you and I
favorite.
was like, there's nothing here.
Yeah, yeah. No. If you want stuff from me, you gotta follow Davidoff64. Um, crap. Where is it? Okay,
Oh.
it's been showing up on those like recommended posts quite a lot. So I'm just gonna continually scroll through my dash. Keep loading. Thank you.
I
It
mean,
was it was about Raven and Cinder, but it talked a bit about Crow, and
mhm.
it it talked about Norse god lore,
Oh, yep.
which
Well, Raven and Crow were um
based off
Odin's.
Odin's birds, yeah.
Yes.
And it brought up a lot of points, and like someone kind of said like, holy crap, it's either they're thinking way too into this or they've nailed it right on the head. Oh, I
Mm.
found it! I found it! I found it! Okay, okay, okay. So, well, I'm scrolling slowly up. Okay, it says Raven had Cinder's treatment. So it says like, so it should be obvious by now. Raven worked for Salem, which I don't know about that statement. She seems to be like a third side. She has the same portals as Cinder in Volume 3, which we kind of agreed, and he's like, right, well, remember that creepy jellyfish Grim? Well, it's called a seer, and do you know what a seer is? And it shows the definition of seer, and it says, a person of supposed supernatural insight who sees visions of the future. It's like someone who can predict the future. Also, we know Raven's emblem is a right eye, while Crow is known as the left eye. We also know that Raven and Crow also allude to Muggin and Hugin, Odin's pet ravens, that they were his eyes to watch over the world. Well, Odin sacrificed his right eye for future vision, and this is how Raven knew when Neo would kill Yang, and how Ozpin would fail, Beacon would fall, and Adam would kill Yang. And then it showed a screenshot. They froze it like at the perfect frame, so it's when Adam is has already sliced past Yang, and it's like right before the color change and her arm kind of flies off. But right in between them, it looks like that eye portal, just kind of like when it's closing, and it says Raven has future vision. That's the end of it, but it's possible that Raven, super fast, pushed Yang just enough to lose an arm instead of her life. But although Crow was like, "You got one chance," like she's not going to save you again. But it's interesting, and the note, the tags on it saying, this is one post where it's like, is this too deep? Or, holy F buttons, I think they've got it. So, I don't know, it's an interesting thing to think about. Everyone's saying, mind blown.
I'm like thinking over it and
Oh, it's a YouTube video. Apparently there's a YouTube video
oh,
about
I
this
mean,
post.
my thinking is that is not entirely correct. My best guess is around 60, because if anything, Odin sacrificed his right eye, which
Mm-hmm.
means that something could happen like for future vision. So either
Mm-hmm.
like more, if I was to think of that, I think of more of that either Raven would be killed and somehow Crow got future vision, or Crow would be killed, which is an unfortunately real possibility at the moment.
Don't. I don't want Crow to
Because
die.
that would bring her directly into the conflict.
It would. It would. She definitely. Oh man. Don't.
I
Crap.
do
Now,
think that
part of me is like, what if Crow did die? It's like, don't think about that. No.
it's my job to think about that.
No, I know. But it's. But it was like almost like a. I want this, and then it was like, no, I don't want this.
Read the Kermit meme.
No. No. I knew exactly, like, immediately pictured in my head, like, what it would say and everything. It's like, I want to see Crow die. No, you don't. Okay. Um,
But I don't know. I feel like the portals have some other connection than like I don't think Raven used to work for Cinder. That would not like they may have
yeah.
or Salem. They may have had some involvement with her,
Mm-hmm.
just considering that this I said considering so many times. Keeping in mind
Mm-hmm.
that her tribe is exceptionally active and
Yes.
highly feared, it wouldn't be surprising for Cinder and or Salem to consult them at one point to kind of get them on their side.
Yeah, kind of like how they did with White Fang.
Yeah, except I think since they travel so much, it was a little bit harder to nail down their tribe specifically, and they were
Mm-hmm.
kind of more of a we're evil Switzerland. So,
Yes. And also, maybe because the portals, they might have been able to, they have the tribe has some sort of power, and that's why they would have wanted them. But because of that power, they were able to reject whatever Salem offered.
hmm
Whereas White Fang, it was like, I reject it, and then they come back, and Adam's
straight
like, why are all
fire.
my men dead? So, um, Oh man, that must have sucked.
As far as the portals go, I don't know if it's. I don't think it's semblance.
It might be Grim related
It's possible.
because
The fact,
Salem is kind of like a humanoid Grim, so to say, but then also Raven has a Grim mask,
yeah,
so it might be in some sort of relation to Grim.
it could be that there is a Grimm that has that sort of ability.
Oh
Because,
mercy.
oh,
Okay, okay. What are you thinking? What are you
so you
thinking?
know how Raven's mask has a very strange kind of pattern to it with
Yeah,
the red. I haven't seen it recently, but my best guess is that that looks relatively similar to the pattern that was on Cinder's glove.
yeah. It kind of does. Yeah,
That whole portal that
yeah.
came out of her glove.
So
So
you
there's
think it has to do with the
probably
pattern?
probably some connection. It's probably like this gonna I'm gonna use an Avatar reference, but kind of
Hmm.
like how Toph learned earthbending from the Badger moles, kind of a they learned teleportation from the Grimm.
Yeah, yeah. Oh
Yeah.
man. And part of me, okay, part of me. So in Bleach, they have monsters called Hollows, and they wear white masks similar to the Grim. Like they have the same, inspiration, I guess, for both
Hmm.
of those. And also, Ruby kind of takes this and that from many anime, so it's possible that Grim got some sort of inspiration from Hollows. But there comes a part in the series where Hollows, if they had their masks removed, they gain like a new power or something like that. So do you think Raven could have possibly been like a Grim who had their mask removed or something?
I don't think so, because then Crow would be one as well.
Wait, did I say Raven? I meant Salem.
Yes.
I meant Salem.
I don't know. I mean, that is gonna have me thinking though, because what if they kind of had that pattern put on the mask
Hmm.
that it gave the mask the ability to whoever like wore it to create those portals, and thus since Raven wears it all of the time, she can just continue doing that even if she doesn't have the mask on, and that could also be part of why Crow is so repulsed to it because it is grim energy.
Hmm.
Also, Standing by Life, I know that webcomic. I legitimately have all two of the books at my feet right now. Ava's
Oh,
Demon
cool.
owns my ass. Like,
All right. Is that it? Is that? Oh,
yeah.
cool. I hope that
Straight
poster
up.
will stick back on. Okay. Wow.
It did.
It did. Wow. I'm always worried about damaging posters when I remove them using sticky stuff. That's why I use thumbtacks. Uh.
We can't use tax in my wall.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Why?
we're gonna sell the house eventually,
Yeah, but
and
tacks.
they're like, they leave holes.
Yeah, but like super tiny holes. You just have
Have
to.
a lot of posters.
You just stick paint, like a little dot of paint where the hole is, and it's gone.
My room is three different shades of blue.
Okay, I see your problem. But there is like a little thing you could fix little tack holes. Um, I have tack holes all over my room because I was a kid and it was like
Mhm.
tacks. Okay, um,
Something
uh,
interesting to consider though is that if that type of grim does exist and like that whole ability is infused through the mark and through the mask
mhm.
into it, that it could kind of play off of the whole thing with the Goliaths. That what Oobleck said that not every grim is still mindless.
Yeah,
It could have been something old and ancient to the point where it was like Goliaths, but maybe even farther.
mhm.
So it was kind of like,
It has like a conscience.
yeah, I'm thinking. I realize that their inspiration is Norse for this, but I'm all I can think of is Roman, how Romulus and Remus were raised by a wolf, kind of that thing.
Oh yeah, yeah, that would make sense. Also, Kaito Dan, like forever ago, I don't see in the chat anymore. I'd have to scroll up. But he said, do you think Odin was the original head of the tribe before Raven and Crow?
I wouldn't be surprised, although I'm still really hoping that Ozpin is low-key based off both the Wizard of Oz and Odin, because Odin was known for bringing warriors back from the dead, and Pyrrha.
Pyrrha! Yeah, that would be so cool.
Low-key, I have like an entire theory based on this man. Don't get me started.
Although, what about Summer? Unless it's like a Summer is missing in action, not actually dead type
Well, it
thing.
could have been she was MIA and
They just
way
just way gone for way too long. They're like, well, she might as well be dead.
really MIA.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Pyrrha's kind of really MIA. There's no body.
There's dust.
Yeah, yeah.
It's probably in Ruby's lungs.
Like, Ruby, I need you to cough real hard. Why is that? Poof. Pyrrha!
Just cough hard. Why? I want my girlfriend back. Shields out for Pyrrha.
Yeah.
We're like ass caves for Pyrrha. Throwback.
Oh man, I need to
So
get
we're gonna do
ass
that
cape
at
for
RT.
Jaune. Yeah. Like every cosplay we have, just ass cape. It's like, you're dressed as Tucker, so I'm gonna have an ass cape.
Whereas, I mean, if you think about it, Carolina has one outfit with an ass cape.
Pyrrha? Well, yeah.
Carolina.
Oh, Carolina?
hmm
What's the outfit with the cape?
When she was at Club Aurora.
Club Herrera?
hmm
Wait, does it actually show her at the club?
Yeah, at the very end, when like the post cutscenes, when there was like the piggyback ride with North and South, and the scene with Georgia.
I've never seen this. Why have I never seen
Bro,
this? No,
bro,
like I heard about it, but like I've never. You're
bro.
okay.
It's straight up.
Okay, we're gonna have to rabbit it after this. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you see Carolina walk into Club Aurora, and
Mhm.
like she's wearing like a black skirt and then like a translucent teal ass cape.
Wait. This is season 14.
No,
When
this
when
is back in season 10.
season? I own season 10. Why have I
So
not seen this?
I will pull it up.
Okay, you're. We'll have to go back to this after VYTALCast because this is like red versus blue, not uh, Yeah, I've never seen that. What the
Oh,
heck?
well, it's a thing.
What the heck? I'm missing out. I feel gypped. This is so stupid. Okay.
There's a touching Dakota twin moment as well.
Wait. Did you say touching and Dakota twins in the same sentence? Because South seems like the girl who would just not.
No, I know, but it happens. Really, it does.
She
Straight up
kills North,
piggyback.
though.
Before that happens!
Oh.
And also, she put him in a position to be killed.
Eh.
Technicalities.
Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah, I remember her talking to Wash about that. He's like, yeah, like there's that much of a difference. Anyway, Stoic Shrug says, random question. What would Yang and Blake's children look like? They'd
There
have
are a
to
lot of artists who have that out there.
well, also, kind of realistically speaking, they'd have to adopt or
No,
have
there
a
are
donor.
genetically you can.
Well, yeah, it's through like the leg bone. Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I know what you're talking about. But that hasn't been done.
it
Has
has.
it? It has?
hmm
Could they do it? Like, is it legal to like go get it done?
I believe so.
Huh. Do you think more people will be talking about it? Huh. All right. Yeah, that'd be interesting though. But yeah, I've seen pictures too. So
hmm
yeah, guys are really useless. I mean, they're not even needed to make children anymore. There's like no reason for them. I feel obsolete. Just kidding.
They're there.
Nah, I'm just being over dramatic.
Should we discuss the title of Chapter 7?
Wait, is the title out? Oh no, hold on.
Punishment.
Wait, no. Is it really? No. Is it? Okay, so it says on up next, it's the World of Remnant.
Yeah, someone, I saw it on Twitter something right beforehand, and it was like, I'm pretty sure it was titled Punishment. And that makes me very scared for Weiss,
No.
because she is my child.
No. But also, it could also be, not only for Weiss, but for Blake and Adam coming over. Because Adam feels like he needs to punish Blake.
It could honestly be pretty much everybody but Yang.
Yeah, Yang. It's like. Uh, Tai
I've already
Yang.
been
Tai
punished
Yang's
and-
like, you're not good enough at fighting yet, and just straight out thrust punches her in the face and breaks her nose.
Well, I mean, she could have emotional punishment of being used to her old fighting style and not. Because when you don't practice, you immediately lose.
Fighting's a bit different sometimes.
True, but you at least lose muscle mass.
Yeah, you lose muscle mass from not exercising.
Yeah, and she clearly has not been.
Because it's weird. So like, I'm gonna use my own personal experience with my martial arts class. So junior year, I stopped taking martial arts class to like, because I was on ballroom team and it was just like honors plus ballroom plus karate was like no time for me to mentally relax, and like I was falling behind. Ironically enough, I lost ballroom that year anyways. Um, but I was out of karate for like 2 years, and then I went back into it, and I had everything like pretty perfect. Like my instructor was like, "Wow, it's like you never left. Like you have everything down. You don't have to like pause and think about it." But now that I've been going to it regularly, on a regular basis again, every now and then I'd have to pause and be like, "What technique have I not practiced?" Or like, "How do I do this again?" And like now that I'm taking a month break for December, I'm pretty sure in January I'm gonna be like, "All right, I forgot some of the new stuff I learned." But yeah, fighting's a little weird
It's
because
probably like, go ahead.
oh, well, I was gonna say fighting's just weird because sometimes like a lot of time does nothing other than like muscle mass, obviously,
Hmm.
or sometimes just a little bit of time does a lot. But something like dancing for sure is like if you don't practice it, you'll lose it quite fast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of partially going to be getting used to having a metal attachment instead of
Yes.
an arm.
Like physical therapy, so to say.
Yeah. Even if it does kind of pull an FMA and attach directly to your nerves, like,
Mm. Oh man, FMA,
I
such a
mean, but
good.
the punishment with it's mostly going to be Ranger. We know that.
Yeah, Team Ranger with stupid Tyrion.
If Crow dies.
No, don't say that. Don't say it. Don't.
Ruby's gonna keep losing everyone. Oh my God.
No! Stop it. Stop it.
Someone has to
No.
talk about it.
Well, a lot of people are predicting that it'd be Nora that dies because Thor dies of poison,
Well,
and
so does.
so does who?
No, I was thinking of some incorrect knowledge, but
Oh,
I think Nora may get stung and thus lightly paralyzed temporarily,
yeah,
but there's not enough lead up for Nora to die here.
true. Yeah, it'd be too random.
Yeah, even Crow would be there still wouldn't be enough lead up. Like there would be more because we've seen a lot more of him,
It'd be too
but
much
I
of
feel like
a
he
shock factor.
yeah, I feel like he definitely has more value still.
Yes, and that's why I keep saying stop saying he's gonna die because he has so much potential still.
I'm preparing for the worst,
All right, all right. Yeah.
but I think it's kind of be Crow versus Tyrion while all of Team Ranger very quickly runs away.
Yes, I mean at least I hope so. And although Team Ranger did jump into it, technically Crow plus them could kind of kill Tyrion.
Ruby is out of aura. Most likely Jaune, Nora, and Ren are all a little bit lower.
Shh.
They're still first years,
Yeah,
David.
okay, all right. I mean, I just want
This
Tyrion.
is Salem's like right foot
I just
man.
want Tyrion written out of the plot, okay? Just let me have my moment.
Actually, I saw a theory on Ruby Amino, and I'm like, now I just feel bad for this asshole.
For Tyrion?
It was that just it kind of just talked about the way that he was sitting and kind of the way he behaves, and it was like the idea that he was kind of kept in a cage, and it's like
Uh,
it would make sense,
yeah. I mean,
but
it's kind of like how there's two fans when it comes, well, two different people who think of Cinder. It's like, oh, I feel so bad for her and
I
how
saw
she's
that
now, and
post.
then like I don't care, she killed Pyrrha, and
I saw that post.
yeah, it's like, yeah, I'm kind of agreeing with the I don't care about Tyrion type thing.
Like, I feel bad for Cinder, but at the same time, I want her to get punished.
Yeah. Hans SD. I think Aaron said they released the name of the episode on Twitter.
I saw it on Twitter, I think.
Yeah,
I'm trying to find it again, but
probably either Gray, Carrie, or Miles
yeah.
tweeted.
Well, it was mostly someone going, oh God, the title of it is punished. Oh God.
Yeah. Um, Ruby fan number one Kawaii. The answer's no. Because we know you are Kelvin, and if you got blocked, sorry, wasn't me.
I
But
don't think it was me.
no, I know it was King of Lame. But anyway, so anyway, uh, wait, what was Trenton asking? I don't think any major characters are gonna die for a while. Yeah, I don't think so.
I think Crow worst case scenario is probably gonna get just injured.
Yeah. All right. I mean, that'll be fine with Like people being injured, I'm fine with. It's like they're still alive,
As long
and
as it's not life-threatening.
yeah, it's like they're injured. I still have feels, but they're still alive. You know, it's a
Like,
win-win.
Nora having to carry Crow or Ruby having to carry Crow would definitely be a traumatic experience, but
Mm-hmm.
hey, it's not like she's carrying his dead body.
Yay! Unless they turn to dust. But okay, sorry. There's that theory that like man was created from dust and thus will return to
No,
dust.
I
Okay,
know.
yeah.
I'm just gonna.
I know Kira feels. Yeah. All right. Um, Aaron just died.
Aaron has returned to
It's
the void.
happened. It's happened 3 episodes later from VYTALCast number 9 when we predicted her dying. Uh, yeah.
Um, Stand up again because there is one more thing that I kind of usually bring up that I haven't been able to bring up in a while because of this one.
Okay. Yes. I read something in the chat, but you finish your thought.
No, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Story Truck said, "If Crow calls Ruby Summer, I'm done."
Oh, he would. He would.
Yeah,
It's
like that's the perfect moment, especially if he does get injured, like you said, and he's like not totally there. He's just being carried by her. He's like, ugh,
if that
Summer.
happens though, that's even more of like because I brought up how I kind of see Crow like I see Sirius Black, but
Yes.
straight up Order of the Phoenix, Sirius goes like, "Nice one, James," and then he gets
Oh
murdered.
no!
So if that
Don't remind
happens,
me of that.
oh,
Nice one, James. Final cadaver. Oh gosh, no. Uh, man, is there a
I,
possibility of John unlocking his semblance during the fight? We've already seen his semblance according to the big three. The big three
I,
being Gray, Miles,
yeah.
and Carrie, but no
I
one
still
knows who
think
it
that his
is.
aura, his semblance is more of a passive thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I kind of wonder if Grim Eclipse is like a
Yeah.
sort of more obvious showing of his semblance, where it's
Mhm.
like it kind of gives a slight power up to those around him. Because really, John in Grim Eclipse is he's most useful if you're playing multiplayer.
Straight up.
So I think Grim Eclipse might be the nod to it. So sometimes that
Hmm.
happens and stuff.
Like it would make sense if it was a combination of boosting your teammates, because again, Great Eclipse, and then also it was mentioned that we saw it in Volume One, and in most of Volume One, whenever he's the only time he really gets all aura on us is straight up when Cardin punches him in the face and Cardin gets knocked back.
Mm-hmm.
So it's probably a combination of
Power up in defense.
power up, yeah, power up defense, where it could be kind of a I can shove you back with the power of my aura because I'm awesome.
Mm-hmm. It's
Kind
like
kind of almost like being able to transfer it more or less, but not in the sense of the Fall Maiden, but in the sense of I, projecting it forward
yeah.
or projecting it onto others.
Yeah. I kind of had like a stupid Star Wars joke, like of John knocking Cardin back with his aura. He's like, I met a little old frog in the forest one day.
Just a picture of Oobleck,
He's like piggybacking Oobleck around the swamp.
or I guess in this case it would be Pyrrha.
Oh my gosh. Arcos. Okay.
All I can think of is a bad lip reading where it's the Yoda song.
Yeah, it's like run,
I
run,
give you
jump.
your backpack while you run.
Yeah. Oh man, I. Oh, and people are talking about like the console release for Grim Eclipse.
That's gonna be.
Once again, I'm not sure if I'm gonna get it because I already have it on PC, and it's like, well, on PC I could either use an Xbox controller with the mouse and keyboard. So, other than like having Xbox connectivity, like Xbox Live with Grim Eclipse, I don't see too many perks on getting it on console as well. So, unless someone gives it to me, then I will gladly play it.
There is one thing I kind of wanted to bring up, and I was thinking about this when I was recording earlier, and I
Mhm.
Snapchatted it to you like 6 times because I was like, I didn't know this.
Oh yeah.
The lyrics for Weiss's song last episode.
Oh yeah, yeah. You actually didn't Snapchat it to me, but you put it on your
Oh,
story, and I saw it, and I was going to reply and be like, "Oh, that's what it says." Yeah. Anyway.
like I was looking at a couple of different versions of it. It was a little tricky to figure it out because it was very operatic, but like her songs just become progressively more and more of an FU to her father. Like
Hmm.
Mirror Mirror is straight up she's lonely and doesn't know who she is. There's not much aggression in it. It's more of
Sorrow.
Sorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mirror Mirror Part 2 is Reflection. It's my turn, straight up. Screw you. I'm going to be me and you can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
No, Kaido Dan, it's not a full version of the song. It's just the 1 minute that was from the show.
Yeah.
But this one is straight up like, it's straight up calling out to him, but also kind of she's reassuring herself more so than declaring.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like the
Makes
whole
sense.
lyrics are, I am not your pet, I'm not another thing you own. I was not born guilty of your crimes.
Yeah. Yeah. That such a good moment. I mean, she sung it really fast, so I'm kind of impressed you caught on to it. So, yeah, and also you have a good singing voice, but
Thank you.
yeah, that was like the second thing I was thinking when you were singing. I'm like, that's Weiss's song. This sounds really good. Anyway,
It's like um, your riches and your influence don't control me anymore. I will not, it's like I am not possessed, burdened by a royal task, which is again throwback.
mhm.
I will not surrender this life. It's mine.
Yeah,
It's just like
it's like F you.
I want to hug her.
She needs a hug.
Uh, just wraps her up in bubble wrap.
Yeah, I don't think she
Gently rolls
needs
her
it
away from
anymore.
Jacques.
Yeah, I don't think she needs bubble wrap anymore. She's kind of more like a cactus.
Fine, I'll wrap her in blankets.
Okay, fine. Just saying, she's fending for herself now, and
True.
more protection would just hinder that process. And I, yeah,
I want her to be happy and warm.
yeah, okay. Yeah. I mean, cactuses are at the desert. They're warm, I guess. I don't know. I don't think my analogy works.
A cactus in winter is very cold.
All right. Well, I've never been in Arizona during the winter. Thank you very much. It's always been during the summer. And it's like,
I
wow,
am
it's
in the
freaking
world of
hot here.
cacti.
Yeah, yeah.
But even in the summer, they're not like hot. They're just kind of like warm.
Well, I've never touched one because they're full of thorns.
There are parts where they don't have spikes.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna risk it. Okay, keep in mind when I visited you was like my first time in 10 years being
Okay,
in
okay.
Arizona.
No, I'm just having flashbacks to school because people will be like, "Oh, I had the worst snowstorms. You're lucky you don't have to deal with anything in Arizona." And I'll pull up a picture of a haboob, and they're like,
Oh, dude, I almost died because of snow yesterday.
"Oh
When
God."
when I went out to my cousin's house, we had to stop by our uncle's to like give him his Christmas present or something. Took a step out of the car, and it was like really thin ice, so you can't see it. But I like nearly like, fell and hit my head on cement, but I caught myself. And then we drove over to my grandma's where I gave them their birthday presents, and
That's nice.
there was ice. Although it was stupid because I was pulling in the driveway and it looked like from the lights from the garage, it was like, oh, looks like that spot has ice. I'll park on this spot where it looks like there is no ice. That spot had ice. The spot that I thought had ice was completely
Didn't.
fine. And I was like, what the heck? It looked wet. Like it looked wet. Like, yeah, I guess it's
R.I.P.
black
David.
ice.
He died because he wasn't wearing a helmet.
Yeah. Well, why would I wear a helmet when driving a car? And then getting out of a car.
I don't know. You
It's
were
like,
gonna hit your head, so ergo,
yeah,
should have worn a helmet.
true.
Hunt SD says, I want a Team Stark episode this season. I'm
That would be
actually
cool.
really hoping that maybe after Ruby is over, there'll be like a side series that's just like the adventures of teenage Team Stark at Beacon.
Hmm. Yeah, like kind of like an opposite to the villains episode, but like
Mm-hmm.
Team Stark,
Because that'd
or
be fun.
a bit like what Naruto did before its transition from Naruto to Naruto Shippuden. They did like the Kakashi Chronicles, which like was going back to the Great War with Kakashi being a kid and how he got like his Sharingan powers and all that. But like do that with Team Stark and it's like the Great War that they fought in, and then like how Raven split up from the group and all that, and oh, that'd be cool.
I'm still kind of hoping that my thing with Raven is right, that she was kind of like the guardian of Summer if she was in fact a maiden, just like how Crow was the guardian of Amber.
Hmm. So
Because
then
once
once they
Summer,
lost Summer,
yeah,
she just kind of left.
she was like, or even just once they found out about it, she was like, "Nope, I don't want any part of this. You're all crazy. I'm going back to the woods."
I'm gonna be a thief. And
Yeah, pretty much.
yeah.
I'm gonna kill people's parents for money.
Ren clenches fists.
I think someone in like one of the comments on my video was like, "I don't think Ren is from Oniyuri," and it's like, well, I mean, he kind of said
His parents.
that his parents were building it, so I mean, he's technically not from Oniyuri, but he would have lived there and probably was there for a small period of time.
Yeah. I mean, he was probably too young to remember anywhere else.
Yeah.
So might as well be like his hometown.
Mm-hmm. Or even so, just there's enough. He probably grew up enough hearing about it that it was like a home away from home, even if he'd never visited.
Yeah. Okay. So Stoic Drug said a comment about Jeff. He said, "Yes, Jeff said in an interview he was telling us the story just in song form," which I always thought that since Volume 1, because like Red Like Roses Part 2 was a huge tell with it's like a story between Ruby and Summer and kind of like the whole thing about loss. But
Well, I thought part 2 was actually Yang's.
really, you thought it was Yang's?
Mm-hmm. Because I thought it was Ruby's at first when I was going over the volume and in my free time doing an analysis of the songs because that's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
And it like Red Like Roses Part 1 was one singer.
Yes.
Which granted most of the songs are.
Mm-hmm.
But Red Like Roses Part 2 also has another part, and she's like, she brings up that she kind of didn't have a choice leaving Yang. It's like, there were other people who needed me besides you.
Yeah, well, that's what I was kind of thinking, but it was Summer instead, because Summer went on a mission and then became missing in action or died. And she was saying, I never wanted this life for you. Like, please don't make your life be in vain. But Ruby went into the Huntress life anyways. So that's kind of how I was seeing it.
But it could also expand to Raven didn't quite want a child.
Maybe.
Because if Tai Yang really was a ladies' man, Yang could have been an accident, and straight up was like, I can't become the leader of this tribe if I have to care for a screaming little human. Like,
yeah. And then Ty's like, "Hey, Summer, want to help raise a kid, and then have one in the process?" Yeah, it's okay. That's a interesting side. I mean, I never thought of it myself because Red Like Roses is like, oh, Ruby. So, but, I'll have to think about that one some more.
Yeah, me too.
It's just interesting. I mean, like that's what I like about Ruby is there's like information, but then like just enough questions for us to like delve in deep with the information we got.
So many questions.
It's like Red Like Roses. What was it about Ruby? What?
Clenches fist.
Clenches fist.
I'm trying to think, but like the music from the very beginning has been like the whole show from the very beginning has been so much foreshadowing. I want to scream sometimes.
Yeah.
Volume 1, I May Fall. Then there's the Fall of Beacon and the Fall Maiden.
Yeah.
And then When It Falls was Volume 3, and well, what do you know? Everything fell apart.
Yeah. Apparently, according to Kaito Den, that Not Fall in Love With You was a song Jeff made ages ago, but never found a use for until background music for Sun and Neptune's Dance.
That makes sense.
Yeah. It's also kind of like low-key Sea Monkey.
Also, I just realized something. The Volume 2 opening was kind of foreshadowing at Salem. Because like Cinder is an enemy, but she's not the enemy, and it's like, or are we weapons pointed at an enemy so someone else can claim the victory? They were fighting the Grim and the White Fang and Cinder instead of watching out for.
Yeah. So you think that part might have been from Cinder's point of view, not so much.
I don't even know, just aggressive foreshadowing.
Yeah, because technically the series has kind of been like a chess game between Ozpin and Salem.
Definitely.
So it could have been like either Cinder or Ranger's point of view. And
I'm wondering what that kind
of. iPhone, shut up! I did not say Siri at all.
I'm kind of wondering what that has to do with the relics that they chose because they were. You good there?
My phone. Okay, it like hold on. I need to grab my phone. Okay, my phone says so. It dies. Said, "Hey Siri." So it's like I'm listening. It's like, what new iPhone showed up? No, it's doing it again. It,
Okay, well, this time you actually said, "Hey Siri,"
it said,
so
"What new iPhone? Shut up! I did not say Siri at all." And it's like, that's not nice. Oh, and then I said, it was like I said, "Hey Siri." So it's like I'm listening. Is like, what's the new phone? And she's like, everything you need to know is know about Apple products is at the Apple website. iPhone. I did not call for you. All right. Anyway, it was just funny. She said that's not nice at all.
Mhm.
The first time I was like, you stupid phone. Like I didn't say anything. She's like, that's not nice at all. I'm like, I'm sorry. Okay. Although she did friend zone me on prom once.
Ooh.
Yeah, my prom date was like, I don't know. She said something, and I was like, well, at least my phone loves me, so that I used to get like, Siri, I love you. And she's like, let's keep this strictly business. And I was
Ooh.
like, ah. But ooh.
One thing that I was wondering was, since it is a chess game between Ozpin and Salem,
Mm-hmm.
if the relics that they chose had any significance with that.
Like the rooks and the horse.
Yeah, the rook. Well, did they choose a rook or did they choose a queen? I forgot.
Uh, for which team? Which person?
Juniper,
Juniper.
because
So
Team Ruby chose knights.
yeah. So what happened with that was it was Nora. Nora and Ren got a rook,
Mm-hmm.
and then it was like I can't remember if it was like John and Pyrrha got a rook or a knight.
They
It
got a
was
rook.
okay. They got a rook. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So that's kind of how the teams were set up. It was who you first made eye contact with, and then what pieces you got, because all of Team
Yeah.
Ruby got the white knight pieces.
Okay.
So I'm wondering if how they progressed through the plot is kind of similar to how a rook would progress.
So like more direct, and then the
Not
knights
exactly.
would be
Well, yeah,
all right.
because yeah, I thought you were talking about Team Ruby for a minute. I was like, knights don't
No,
move
no, I'm talking
directly.
about
Yeah,
Juniper. Juniper would be more direct into the conflict,
yeah,
and then
which is
Ruby.
kind of
Actually,
true.
that
They
would
would.
make sense for like right now with Team Ruby being the
Hmm.
knights because they're all spread out and kind of going from different angles.
Hmm.
Which knight pieces are kind of you kind of have to go at a different angle.
You can't go head on. It's a difficult piece to get the hang of.
Yes.
But it's also interesting because I've seen analyses of Team Juniper and Ruby in terms of chess pieces,
Hmm.
where Weiss and Pyrrha were bishops, and I think I don't remember, I think Blake and Ren were maybe knights. I'm not entirely
Okay.
remember,
Did
but
this have to do with the Ruby Mino thing just recently?
no.
Because Ruby Mino just had like a Ruby chess analysis competition for like people to
Oh,
do stuff like that. So
I did not know that. I
yeah.
just saw this a while ago.
Okay.
But I'm wondering if that also plays into it because it's kind of Ozpin's and Iron's conversation that was, do you really think your children can win a war? I hope they never have to. It's like you're setting up the game just in case.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah. Which I kind of wonder why Ozpin is relying on students and not like graduated adult hunters and huntresses, unless most of them are dead at that point.
I feel like most of them are kind of dead at that point. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
he needs to have the people who teach the school, for starters.
Mm-hmm.
And he was relying on Crow. And he may have been relying on Tai Yang, and then Tai Yang was like, bro, say,
Tai Yang
Raven
still does
just,
missions though.
yeah, well, but that he only started doing them again recently.
True.
So, and then it's very clear that Ironwood is no longer very trusting of Ozpin. So Ozpin's probably been slowly losing his
His
pawns,
pieces.
his chess pieces.
Mm.
So the easiest way to do that is smaller, more honest souls.
Ooh. I like what you did there.
Because like
So,
when you're playing chess, if you're not an expert, you tend to
just get slaughtered.
fo well, A, you get slaughtered, and B, you focus on the queens and you focus on the kings. It's
Mm-hmm.
less of, oh, I know if I move my pawn here, they'll respond this way.
Yeah. Or like if I place my knight here, I have all this to
Precisely.
defend. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a really good one. And also with what I just said with like putting my knight here, then I could defend all this space. kind of
Hmm.
makes me think, well, Blake's in Menagerie, so she's kind of protecting
Yeah.
that area, so to say, and then Weiss is in Atlas, and then they're all on different continents. Well,
Hmm.
I think Yang's on the same continent as Ruby. They're just far apart.
Yeah.
So, but still, same thing. They're all covering large amounts of area.
Hmm.
So that's cool.
We've been
Uh,
going for like an hour. I gotta.
you gotta go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean we went 5 minutes over, so it's all right. All right. We'll see you guys next week. So, see ya.
Bye.